And when you're talking about this state-sponsored Russian, doping program, I mean, you have to really think and include Karelin in that, because he was just a massive, massive part of it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean,
and people have always speculated for many years, like Fedor, who is arguably the greatest heavyweight of all time, was competing in Pride, which was an openly dirty league. When Pride was opposite the UFC had very rudimentary testing at the time. What they would essentially do is do urine testing at the weigh-ins, which Victor Conte famously said is just an intelligence test.
Yeah, I know Victor well. I got to meet him. I got to know him pretty well through this.
Yeah, Victor did the podcast a few years back and was talking about it. And this was pre-USADA. Now the UFC has hired USADA and Nowitzki, and Jeff Nowitzki has done a fantastic job, and unfortunately just caught John Jones, who re-won the title, knocking out Daniel Cormier. They stripped him of his title, and now Cormier is going to be the champion again. And it's so fucking confusing and distorted. Because in mixed martial arts, as opposed to even any other sport, even wrestling, your health is on the line, but nowhere near as much as it is in mixed martial arts. So the cheating, it's not a matter of a guy getting across the finish line faster than you. It's a matter of a guy landing blows, or a woman landing blows that they would not have been able to land had they not been cheating. And it gets very, very tricky, because you're talking essentially about not just illegal activity, not just cheating, but potentially assault. And what if someone dies? Like, what if someone is doping and it's proven that they're doping, and the beating they give their opponent leads to that opponent dying? You can make a real argument that manslaughter charges at the very least should be filed.
Wow.
If not murder.
Yeah, it's certainly,
the implications are massive.
You can certainly make that implication.
Yeah.
And and in this story, even the idea where you have thousands of athletes essentially waking up and going, wait, maybe I would have got a medal.
Yeah.
I would have got a medal, and had I got a medal, what would be different in my life today?
Would change their whole world.
Which changed the whole world. And that is why, this problem is so, I think, hard and difficult to combat, because when you look at what is at stake, the economics at stake, what, the box of Wheaties, essentially,
yes.
that going in and nobody remembers second place.
Doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything.
It means nothing. It's all one.
You win or you don't.
Yeah, you win or you lose.
And if you win, comes all the, spoils. And if you're not the winner, you might as well have almost never been there.
Well, indifferent than any other athletic endeavor, because essentially it is their life, but it's not professional, which is a really weird thing, because you have so much money involved in the Olympics. Billions and billions of dollars are going into the hands of people who don't even fucking compete, which is insane. It's unlike any other athletic pursuit. If you look at professional sports, I mean, whether it's the NBA or boxing or what have you, the vast majority of the money goes to the athletes themselves.
Right.
Now, not in the Olympics. In the Olympics, fucking zero.
No,
it's
like college basketball.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's purely an honor to be in the Olympics,
Yeah.
to go to the Olympics, and the athletes themselves. And this is why it's actually, you're able to understand a state-sponsored system, which I think the American mentality is hard to understand, because here we're looking at $205 million NBA contracts, and sport is privatized, and the athletes get paid. And that even when you go to the Olympics as an American athlete, you might be competing for America, but America is not paying your way to the Olympics. You're not on the U.S. payroll. Michael Phelps is not being paid by the U.S. government to go compete in the Olympics.
Right.
But in China, in Russia, in any essentially, post-communist, communist, any sort of country like that, the athletes are employees of the government. And they're essentially state employees, and their job is to go and compete for their country, and they're being paid to do so.